അതിർക്കില്ല എന്താ അവൾ വരുവാളാ. Okay, we'll start then. Om Maunavyakhya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam Varishistante Vasatrishiganaih Avrutam Brahmanishtaih Acharyendram Karakalita Chinmudramanandamurtim Swatma Ramam Mudidavadanam Dakshinamurtimide Vatavitapi Samipe Bhumi Bhage Nishannam Sakala Munijananam Jnanadataramarat Tribhuvana Gurumisham Dakshinamurtidevam Janana Marana Dukkha Chedadaksham Namami Chitram Vadadaror Mule Vruddha Shishya Gururyuva Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Shishyastu Chinna Samshayah Nidhaye Sarva Vidyanam Vishaje Bhavaroginam Gurave Sarvalokanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Om Namah Pranavarthaya Shuddha-jnanaikamurtaye Nirmalaya Prashantaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheda-vidahine Yamavat Vyapta-dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha Vishwam Darpana Drishyamana Nagari Tulyam Nijandargyadam Pashyannatmani Mayaya Bahirivorbhutam Yatha Nidraya Yassākṣāt kurute prabodha samaye Swatmānamevatvayam Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namayidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Bijasyantarivānkuro Jagaditam Prāṅnirvikalpam punaha Maya kalpita desha kala kalana Vaichitra chitrikritam Maya viva vijrambayatya vimaha Yogi vayasvechaya Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namayidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye Yasyaiva spuranam sadatmakamasat kalparthagam bhasate Sakshat tattvamasiti vedavachasa Yo bhodayatyashritan Yat sakshat karanat bhavenna punaravrityar bhavambho nidho Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshinamurtaye. Nanachitragadodharastidamaha Deepaprabhabhaswaram Jnanam yasya tu chakshuradikaranatvara bahispandate Janamiti tameva bhandam ubhatyetas samastam jagat Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshina Murtaye Kham Pranamapindriyanyapi Chalam Buddhincha Shunyam Viduhu Sri Balantha Jadopamastvahamiti Branta Brishamvadinaham Shakti Vilasa Kalpita Vyamoha Samharine Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshina Murtaye Rahu Krasta Divakarendu Sadrisha Maya Samacchatanat Matrakaranopasamharanato Yobho Sushuptapuman Pragaswapsamidhi Prabodha Samaye Yaf Pratyabhijñāyate Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshina Murtaye Balyadishvapi Jagradadishu Tata Sarvasvavastasvapi Vyavrittasvanuvartamanamahyamitantas Purantam Sada Swatmanam Prakati Karoti Bhajatam Yo Mudraya Bhadraya Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshina Murtaye Vishwam Pashyati Karyakaranataya Swaswami Sambandhataha Shishyācāryataya tathaiva pitrputratyatmana vedadaha Swapne jagrati vaya yesha purushaha maya paribhrāmitaha tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshina Murtaye Bhurambhasya nilo nilombharamahar Nadho himam shuppuman Ityabhati characharatmagamidam Yasyaiva murtyashtakam Nanyat kinchana vidyate vimrchatam Yasmat parasmat vibho Tasmai Shri Guru Murtaye Namayidam Sri Dakshina Murtaye
Sarvatmattvamiti sputikritamidam
It
yasmadhamushminstave
Enatyatshavanat tadarthamananat Dhyanatcha Sankirtanat Tvatmattvamahavibhuti sahitam Syadhishwaratvam swataha Siddhetat punarashtadha parinatam cha Aishwaryamavyahatam Aishwaryamavyahatam So we have to see the fourth chapter today. So we have completed the third chapter. of Mandukya Karika named Advaita Prakaranam. And in these 3 chapters, we try to understand the essential teaching of the Mandukya Upanishad with the help of Gaudapadacharya's Karika. We learn the essential teaching of the Upanishad, which is Brahma Satyam Jagat Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Napara. Of this, Brahma Satyam was highlighted in the 3rd chapter. In the last verse of the 3rd chapter, it was conclusively confirmed that Brahman alone is the truth. Uttamam Satyam. Jagat Mithya was established in the 2nd chapter, which was called Vaitathya Prakaranam. When we say Jagat Mithya, the world consists of 2 layers. One is the Swapna Prapancha, another is the Jagrat Prapancha, Jagrat Avastha. Put together is called Jagat. Some people claim Swapna is also Satyam, and there are many who claim Jagrat is Satyam. Gaudapada in the 2nd chapter establishes both the Jagrat Avastha as well as Swapna Avastha, both are Mithya. In fact, any Dvaitam is Mithya. Then the final question, who am I? Am I coming under Satyam category or Mithya category? The answer is, what do you mean by the word I? If you refer to Sthula Shariram or Sukshma Shariram, then I will say you are in Mithya category. If you say I am Karana Shariram, then also you are in Mithya. But I am Shariratraya Sakshi Chaitanyam. If you claim, then we say you are that Brahman. Identify with Chaitanyam, you should say Aham Brahmasmi. In me, the Advaita Chaitanyam, the Mithya Dvaita Jagrat Swapna Sushupti Prapancha is floating. I am ever free. Thus, if we assimilate the teaching given in the 3 chapters, we are free here and now. Thus, in the first 3 chapters, the basic teaching is given. And in fact, the Mandukya is over with the 3rd chapter. Then what is the purpose of the 4th chapter? If we were able to receive the knowledge properly with Shravanam, then that knowledge releases us. But in the case of many students, the intellect will not be convinced by this teaching. Even though Shravanam is capable of giving this knowledge, but in the case of many students, the knowledge is not complete because intellect raises many doubts. Either Brahma Satyam may be doubted, or Jagat Mithya is doubted, or sometime Aham Brahmasmi is doubted. Samsaya Sahitam Jnanam is as good as Ajnanam. Therefore, it is the duty of the Guru and Shastra to eliminate all possible doubts and release the knowledge for the benefit of the student. Unobstructed knowledge alone can give liberation. An obstruction for knowledge is always doubt or samshaya. For removing the doubt prescribed by the Shastra is Mananam. Thus the 3 chapters of Mandukya is Shravana Pradhana chapters, and towards the end of 3rd chapter, Nididhyasanam was also talked about. Now the 4th chapter is concentrating upon Mananam part of Vedantic study. And the doubts regarding Vedanta can be created by any intellect. My own intellect can raise many doubts, or any other intellect. And in our system, there are many systems of philosophies which says Advaitam is full of logical loopholes with several defects, and they challenge the teaching of Advaita. Therefore, we take some of the other systems of philosophy and answer their doubts, questions. If I cannot answer those questions, then our understanding is checked, or else anyone can shake our knowledge. We have got several systems of philosophy in our tradition. A system of philosophy is called darshanam, and all the other darshanams can be broadly categorized into 2. One group of philosophy is called Tarka-based philosophy, when they totally rely upon logic and they do not accept Veda Pramanam. Therefore, they consider Veda, but they depend upon Tarka. They are called in Sanskrit Nastika Darshanani. Nastika here means not accepting Veda Pramanam. We have six Nastika Darshanams are there. Number 1, Jaina Matam. They don't accept Vedas. Number 2, Charvaka Matam. That is materialism, dialectical materialism. And we have 4 branches of Buddhism. And some of them we will be studying in this 4th chapter. Then we have got another group of philosophies. They are called Tarka dominant philosophies. Tarka Pradhana Darshanani. This group accept Veda Pramanam, but they consider Tarka as primary and Veda is secondary source of knowledge. They quote Veda to suit their logic. They are 4 in number. Sankhya Matam, Yoga Matam, Nyayamatam, Vaisheshika Darshanam or Matam. Now, Sankhya Darshanam founder is Kapila Muni, not what is that Muni in Bhagavatam is another person. He is also Kapila Muni. Then number 2, Yoga Darshanam, the founder is Patanjali Muni. Then third one is Nyaya Darshanam, Gautama Muni. You must have heard his name. Where? Gautama Muni. Where? In Ramayana. Ahalya's husband. Gautama. He is Nyaya Darshanam. Number 4, Vaisheshika Darshanam, Kanada Muni. All these 4 are Astikas because they accept the Veda Pramana. The founder of Jaina Matam, Vardhamana Mahavira. But there is a Rishabhadeva in Bhagavata Purana. He is actually the real founder of Jaina Mata. And Vardhamana Mahavira is the activator and reviver. Buddha Darshanam, Buddha's disciples, not Buddha. Charvaka's founder, we don't know. Who is the founder? These Purvapakshas throw their challenges in different way. We face them also in 2 ways. One is by defending Vedanta, called defensive method. Second method, to silence all arguments, saying, you have no right to question us, but first take care of your darshanam properly. Your darshanam is full of logical loopholes. Keeping a deficient darshanam, what right you have to question us? This is silencing method. Third is called offensive method. The defensive method is when the 10 darshanams attack us, we say Vedanta has nothing to do with logic. It doesn't come under the scope of logic. Therefore, you need not prove or disprove Vedanta. The very attempt to prove shows you have not understood Vedanta. It is like trying to disprove or approve the knowledge given by your eyes and trying to disprove that by the knowledge of ears. What knowledge is given by one pramanam can never be disproved or approved by another pramanam. Similarly, tarka is a type of pramanam which function in one field, but Vedanta is another pramanam which function in a different field. Field of tarka is different. Field of tarka is what? Intellect. The field of Vedanta is different. It is Vedas. It is useless to prove Vedanta by logic. That is why our Gurudev used to say, Vedanta is neither logical nor illogical. It is translogical. That is why in Kathopanishad it is said, Naisha Tarkena Matirapaneya. Vedanta is dealing with that truth which is beyond the scope of logic. Therefore, Bauddha has no right to question Vedanta by logic. So too Sankhya, Yoga, Nyaya, Vaisheshika also no right to question Vedanta by logic. It is like trying to prove the color of a cloth by ear or nose. It is as ridiculous as that. Then, therefore, how do you defend Vedanta? By saying that the instrument you use is improper. This is the first part. Then the second part is, even when I say you should not challenge Vedanta with tarka, logic, that person will not keep quiet. And he will say, you don't know how to answer, you are escaping. He will taunt us. When we are challenged this way, we use the second method, saying that we are not weak in tarka. We say we know the limitation of tarka, the field of absolute truth. Vyasacharya dedicates one Adhikaranam in Brahma Sutra to prove that tarka has no entry into the absolute truth. Vedantin can prove how strong he can be in logic. We can attack all 10 darshanams with strong logic and point out that all your conclusions based on logic, they are all illogical conclusions. We can point out logical loopholes in all your theories. Therefore, keeping a philosophy with so many logical fallacies, you cannot challenge Vedanta. First correct yourself and then come to challenge Vedanta. So, second method is logically dismiss all darshanas and establish logically. One cannot arrive at truth logically. This is called offensive method. Therefore, in this fourth chapter, Gaudapada Acharya negates some of the prominent philosophy like Sankhya Yoga, Nyaya Vaisheshika Darshanam, Buddhistic philosophy. He refutes all of them and established that all those darshanams really do not challenge Vedanta. Vedanta or Upanishad is the primary means of knowledge. We do use tarka, but tarka is only subservient to Vedanta. To understand Vedanta, we use logic as a support. Thus, the fourth chapter is Manana Pradhana chapter. It is a big chapter consisting of 100 verses. Of this, first half will be the logical negation of other systems of philosophy, both Astika and Nastika. And later half, Gaudapada Acharya again reminds us the Vedantic teaching. Otherwise, we will get lost in the arguments. This is called Alata Shanti Prakaranam. Alata means a stick with fire at one end, like agarbatti stick. This example is given in this chapter. We will be studying in the course of this, we will be studying that in this course of this chapter. And with this background, we will enter this chapter proper. ज्ञानेनाकाशकल्पेन धर्मान्यो गगनोपमान् ज्ञेयाभिन्नेन सम्बुद्धः तं वन्दे द्विपिताम्बरम्. It is written Nyaya, Nyayabhinena or Nena. In my book it is Nyayabhinena. Your book is Nyayabhinena. Okay. ज्ञानेनाकाशकल्पेन धर्मान्यो गगनोपमान् ज्ञेयाभिन्नेन सम्बुद्धः तं वन्दे द्विपदाम्बरम्. In the first two verses, Gaudapadacharya offers Namaskara as Mangalacharanam. He didn't do that before. You know why? He's getting ready for battle. No. There was no battle. In the beginning, the battle starts now only. So there he comes in between, Agama Prakarana also. So after so many, what you call Upanishad mantras, he writes his commentary. So there he is coming in between. He is not starting afresh. But here it is, of course, it is going to be a fight. So he needs blessings from Bhagavan. Yeah, so that's why a prayer is offered to ward off all obstacle to complete this chapter. And the first one is Namaskara to the Lord as the Adi Guru. Narayana is worshipped as Adi Guru. Our Gurudev commentary, that is that. Narayanam Padmabhuvam Vasishtam Shaktinja Tatputra Parasharam Cha Vyasam Shukam Gaudapadam Mahantam Govinda Yogindra Madhasya Shishyam Sri Shankaracharya Madhasya Padmapadam Jahasta Malakam Cha Shishyam Tam Totakam Vartikaramanyat Asmat Gurun Santadamanatosmi. I think there are a lot of printing mistake there. Narayanam Padmabhuvam Padmabhavam Vasishtam Shaktinja Tatputra Parasharam Cha. is corrected. Huh? Padma Bhavam. That's all right. Bhavam also okay. So, the knowledge has come from Narayana to Brahmaji, Brahmaji to Vasishtha, Vasishtha to Shakti. Vasishtha had 100 children. First son was Shakti. Shakti's son is Parashara. Parashara's son is Parasharya Vyasa. Vyasa's son is Shuka Maharshi. Shuka Maharshi's no son. Shuka Maharshi's disciple is Govinda Bhagavat Padacharya. Govinda Bhagavat Padacharya's Shishya is Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya's Shishyas are 4 main disciples. Padmapadam ja hastamalakam ja shishyam tam totakam vartikakaramanna manyat asmat gurun santatamanadosmi. Vartikakara is Sureshwaracharya. So, Padmapadam, Astamalakam, Totakam, Sureshwaracharya. So, 4 mathas he established. Sureshwaracharya was Sringeri Acharya. Then Padmapada was the Puri Acharya. Puri. Then Dwaraka. Then Joshi Mutt. Anyway, so here Narayana Adiguru is worshipped. Second verse is offering his prostration to the very Brahma Vidya. In the second sloka, we are worshipping Saraswati Devi, the Brahma Vidya. Since Lord is worshipped as Adi Guru, we accept and know that the Lord himself is a Jnani. What is that Jnanam? Jivatma Paramatma Aikya Jnanam. The Lord has. But the Lord has Jivatma Paramatma Aikya Jnanam. We have to present it in a different way. When an ordinary jiva gains Aikya Jnanam, what will be the form of knowledge? He will know I, the Jivatma, am non-different from Paramatma. That is the knowledge of a jiva. But Lord gains knowledge. What will be the form? He won't say, I, the jiva, is Paramatma, because Lord himself is Paramatma. Here the knowledge is, I, the Paramatma, is non-different from Jivatma. It's a small difference. Therefore, Gaudapadacharya says, I worship that Ishvara who has this knowledge that is non-different from Jiva. And how is this Aikya Jnanam gained? What is the uniqueness of this Aikya Jnanam? The uniqueness of this knowledge is that it is a knowledge in which the subject of knowledge, the object of knowledge, and the instrument of knowledge, all these 3 are one and the same. Because Jivatma is consciousness essentially, and Paramatma is consciousness essentially. Therefore, the Self-knowledge, consciousness knows consciousness. No subject is, so subject is consciousness, object is also consciousness. Then the instrument is also consciousness. Because through consciousness alone, you can know anything. Atmanyev atmana tushtaha. Gita also Bhagavan talks about it. Therefore, the consciousness knows the consciousness with the consciousness. Now, this is a very interesting topic to think, Mananam. Now, you are saying you are experiencing me, or I am experiencing you. What is that? I, the consciousness, experiencing you, the consciousness, with what? Consciousness. Both are conscious, isn't it? The whole transaction is taking place in consciousness. Then where is this I? I don't know. From where this comes? I worship that Narayana who has this Aikyat Jnanam, in which subject, object, instrument division is not there. That knowledge is divisionless like space, divisionless like space. Gagana upaman. Jnanena akashakalpena dharmanyo gaganopaman. Therefore, Jivatma is space like consciousness. Paramatma is also space like consciousness. Instrument also space like consciousness. This he knows. Veda knows. Sambuddhaha, completely realized. Dvipatam varaha. Dvipadam means what? Dvipatam means what? Two legs. Two legs. Two-legged one. Two-legged one means human being. Vara means the best. So, Dvipadam Vara is Bhagavan. Human being, Vara means greatest. Dvipad, human being, Vara means greatest. So, Purushottamaha, it is the name of Lord Vishnu. Dvipadam Varam. Neyaha abhinnena jneyaha. Abhinnena jneyaha. So that divisionless nature. Divisionless nature is what? Jivatma Paramatma division. It is believed that Gaudapada Acharya did penance in Badrinath and he had the blessings of Narayana. That is one reason he is remembering his Lord. Then, number 2. Asparshayogo vai nama sarvasat satvasukho hitaha avivado viruddhascha deshitastam namam tam namamyaham. Your spelling is correctly. Here mine is written namamyaham. That's why. Your namamyaham. Okay, they are corrected. In the second verse, Gaudapada Acharya is offering salutation to the very self-knowledge, Atmajnanam. For that purpose, he is talking about the glory of self-knowledge. Every word reveals that glory. Asparsha yogaha is one glory. Sarva sattva sukhaha is another glory. Hitaha is the third glory. Avivadaha is the fourth glory. Aviruddhaha is the fifth one. Deshitaha, the sixth glory. Such a glorious Atmajnanam I worship. Now let us see one by one. Asparsha yogaha. This self-knowledge is called Asparsha yogaha because here one gains knowledge of Turiya Atma. That Turiya Atma is called Asparsha that we have seen earlier. It is the non-dual reality and it is beyond time and space. Then why it is called Asparsham? Asparsha means relationless. Because the infinite Atma does not have a second thing. Relationship is possible only when there is a second thing. From the standpoint of Turiyam, the world is mithya or dvaitam. Vaidamaha means the famous one. The famous name, Vainamaha. Vai stands for famous. Namaha, name. Second glory. Now Asparsha is clear. Asparsha Yoga we talked about in the third chapter. Second glory is Sarvasattva Sukhaha. This Atma is the one gives Ananda, Purnatvam. Sattva here means living being, human being. Sarva means all. Sukha means happiness. So Sarva Sattva Sukhaha means Purnatvam, the one who gives Ananda. Just because Atma gives Ananda, you cannot say it is great. Because in this world, so many objects are there which give Ananda. Children, wife, money, power give Ananda. Everything in this creation gives Ananda. But not Ananda only. It gives Dukkham also. Rama gave Ananda, but when he departed to a forest, he gave sorrow also. Isn't it? So, that is why third, hitam, hitaha. it contributes to our well-being, things that are joy for you. Giving may not be good for you, for your well-being. Giving joy may not be good for your well-being. Chocolate is good, but it increases your blood sugar. It gives you happiness, but also gives you sickness. But Atma does not cause future sorrow. Fourth one, avivadaha. It is beyond all arguments. Vedanta is beyond all logics. This he will explain later. Then aviruddhaha. It does not contradict any philosophy. Every system of philosophy has got a particular theory of creation. Every philosopher has to explain how the world originated. All of them Vedanta accept, never contradicts, because Vedanta doesn't have any theory of creation. Then which philosophy I contradict? Now the question is, why do you say Vedanta doesn't have a theory of creation? Because Vedanta doesn't believe in the existence of creation itself. If you say there is a creation, then only you have to prove its origination. Vedanta is ajativadaha. Jivan Mukta Ananda Lahari. There he says you can go to any system of philosophy and be happy. For some time. Sixth, Desitaha, a knowledge which can be learned from a guru. One cannot gather this wisdom independently. Guruna upadishtaha, upadishtatnyanam. To that Brahma Vidya I do namaskaram. Now the interesting thing here is Gaudabadacharya talked about Advaitam so far. Then he is doing namaskara. Who is doing namaskara to whom when there is only one thing? He says, I am doing namaskara from the Vyavaharika Drishti. And there Dvaitam alone is there. So there are so many arguments are there about this. Since Gaudapadacharya is doing namaskaram, it is not written by him. So it is an independent work added later by somebody. That is not correct. Gaudapadacharya himself is written this. You can see that. The style is same. Third month. Bhutasya jati michanti vadina keji devahi abhutasya pare dhiraha Vivadanta parasparam bhutasya datimichanti in these verses 3, 4 and 5. Gaudapada Acharya explains the word avivadaha. Why do we say that Vedanta is beyond argumentation? He gives an interesting statement. I need not argue with any philosopher because all the philosophers quarrel among themselves and each one knocks off the other philosopher. Naturally, I, who is the witness of this fight, definitely win. It is called Yadaviya Kala, a group of people fighting and destroying each other. One of the main disputes is regarding the theory of creation. All theories of creation negates each other. When they cancel each other's theory, what is left out? No creation. That is what we are also saying, says Gaudapada Acharya. Among many theories of creation, two theories are very, very popular and powerful. This will be discussed by Gaudapada Acharya elaborately later. Here we see it briefly. Next class. I'm happy you came. One theory of creation is called Satkaryavadaha. And many philosophers hold this theory. The main philosophy hold this theory is called Sankhya philosophy, founded by Kapila Muni. The second important theory is called Asatkaryavadaha. This theory is propounded by Nyaya philosopher. He is the main one. They are also called Vaisheshika philosopher. Now, what are these two theories? When they discuss the creation, for example, we talk of creation of pot out of clay. The pot maker out of clay creates a pot. When you say pot is created out of clay at a particular time and place, now the question, before the creation of the pot, did the pot exist in the clay or not? There is one in Brihadaranya Upanishad. There is a topic here. Shankaracharya is commented on this. This is called Ghetabhashyam. And even in Chandogya also, 6th chapter, this topic is Sadeva Saumya Idamagra Asid. There also, before the creation of the pot, did the pot exist in the clay or not? This is a big question. Before the creation of the karyam, did the karyam already existed in the karanam or not? Utpattehe purvam karyam karane satva asatva. Or does an existent pot originate or a non-existent pot originate? This is a very big discussion in all systems of philosophy. Adi Shankaracharya, in his commentary upon Brihadaranya Upanishad, discusses this point very elaborately. How does the pot come to exist? This portion of Shankara Bhashyam is called Gada Bhashyam. And Sankhya and other philosophers say an existent pot alone can originate or born. Therefore, that philosophy is called Satkarya Vadaha. But then the Nyaya Vaisheshikas say, no. A non-existent pot alone originate. Therefore, they are called Asatkarya Vadi. These two groups argue violently, and it has been going on for centuries. Here Gaudapadacharya says the Satkaryavadis negates the Asatkaryavadis. So too Asatkaryavadis dismisses Satkaryavadis. Therefore, what is the final result? Both Satkaryavada and Asatkaryavada get negated. What remains is Ajadivadaha. No creation at all. What is there is clay. The word creation is a wrong word. According to science, matter cannot be created or destroyed. And Vedanta says consciousness can't be destroyed or created. Then where is the question of creation? This simple truth is not understood and get trapped in the word creation. Therefore he says, Kechit Vadinaha. Some philosophers say, namely Sankhyas, Bhutasya Jatim Icchanti, the origination of the existent product, Satkaryavadaha. Whereas some other people, Apare, Dhiraha, intelligent people, Abhutasya Jatim Icchanti. They talk about a non-existent product. Each one is very sure of their theory. Advaitins say what is in front of us as world is Brahman. And what was there before also is Brahman. What will be there in future is also Brahman. Therefore, no creation, hence no theory. So, I don't join any philosopher. This is my approach. Bhutasya jadimichanti vadina kejidevahi abhutasya pare dhiraha vivadanta parasparam. this Gaudapada, Shankaracharya's the Gadabhashya is very interesting to read. Brihadaranya I have not taken, right? That take a long, long time. Since morning, this sensor is giving me trouble. Suddenly shows 50. It's not. Cannot be. From 200, how can it come to 50 so fast? It's not possible. Huh? Morning also, while giving talks, it was showing 50. It's not possible. Anyway. So the argument is, if it is already existing, what is the point of creation? You don't need to create. If it is not existing for a non-existent thing, existent cannot come. So these are their argument in between them. Okay. Continuing, let us see. Bhutam na jayate kinchit abhutam naiva jayate vivadanto dvaya hyeva ajatim vyapyapayanti te. Kinchit bhutam na jayate. This is the words of Vaisheshika philosopher, Asatkaryavadi, refuting the Sankhya philosopher. He refutes, Kinchit bhutam na jayate. An existent product cannot never originate. So, an existent product cannot originate. An existent pot can never originate because it is already existent. Therefore, the non-existent pot alone can come to existence. To this, Sankhyan philosopher refutes saying, Abhutam naiva jayate. A non-existent pot can never originate because one scientific answer is no matter can be created. Even a milligram of matter cannot be created. Therefore, a non-existent matter cannot be created. It is against the fundamental theory of the law of conservation of matter and energy. Modern science easily solves this problem. Total amount of matter available is the same. Therefore, non-existent matter cannot come. And hence, non-existent pot cannot originate. Even if you don't need to go to science, simple knowledge of grammar will make this clear. Non-existent part originate is grammatically a wrong sentence. According to grammar, every sentence should have minimum one subject, one verb should be there. If you say come, then you ask who come, Rama or Krishna. Verb indicate an action. Action always rests upon a subject. Action can never exist by itself. In the statement non-existent part originate, what is the verb? Originate is the verb. Please tell me what is the subject of that verb? Non-existent part. If non-existent part is the subject, it means there is no subject. If there is no subject, how can you make a statement? Non-existent part originates. Therefore, it is ridiculous to talk about even grammatically. Therefore, Vaisheshika's theory is refuted by Sankhyas, and Sankhyas cannot be peaceful because Vaisheshikas refutes their theory. They say an existing part need not originate because it is already existing. Therefore, they are mutually refuted. Therefore, dvaya evam vivadandaha. These dualistic philosophers, thus they go on arguing. Ajatim vyapayanti te. Indirectly, they are both refuting the origination of this creation. There is no pot originated, no arrival of a pot. On inquiry, we come to a very, very important conclusion. There is no substance called pot, because on close examination, there is no substance called pot. What is there is only clay, before, now and later. Pot is only a word, not a substance. Vacharambanam vikaro namadheya, namadheyam mrittiketyeva satyam. Word has no substance, it's only a word. Vacharambanam vikaro namadheyam. All the objects are words initiated by your tongue. Vacharambanam vikaraha namadheyaha. Therefore, world is not born and Jivatma is also not born. And when Jivatma is not born, where is the question of rebirth of Jivatma? I am the Paramatma and I ever will be Paramatma. The desire for moksha is the greatest samsara when you are already a moksha purusha. Okay, you take one more. 5th verse. ख्याप्यप्यमानमजातिं तैः अनुमोदामहे वयम् विवदामौ न तैः सार्धम् अविवादं निबोधत. तैहि ajatihi khyapyamana. The non-origination of the world, otherwise called ajativada. Our teaching of non-origination of the world is indirectly supported by both Sankhya and Nyaya schools. Now, how do they support us? Because Sankhya refutes the Nyaya philosopher, and Nyaya philosopher refutes the Sankhya philosopher. Thus, both of them refuting the other. They are refuting the origination of creation. Therefore, unknowingly they are supporting our teaching. Vyapyamana means our teaching is indirectly supported. And therefore, what do we do with them? We are neither happy or unhappy with both of them. We say to both, well done. Anumodamahe. We acknowledge their contribution to Advaitam. Taihi sardham na vivadamaha. We never argue with them. Because the job of argument is done by the other two. Therefore, avivadam beyond argument is Vedanta. Arguments creates twofold ego. If I am victorious, it nourishes the ahankara. If I am defeated, then it hurts the ego. Therefore, a Vedantic student should always avoid argument. Tarkaha apratishtaha. Apratishtaha. I think it is Narada Bhakti Sutram it is said. Tarkaha apratishtaha. Gurudev right here. Here is a subtle vein of humor with which Gaudapadacharya criticizes the Dvaitins. Okay, we'll stop here today. We've taken 5 verses. But these are all simple ones, okay. Then we'll get into the topic later. He's just developing a base. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Guru Pyo Namaha. Hari Om.